Welcome back. Before we get started, I want to make this clear. This will be my last video on the US election salt. And I say salt because I believe the arguments presented in the majority of the videos I've seen post-election have gone past the point of rational and have stuck so firm to the regressive rhetoric that I just can't move it, and it's become a block of salt. Like one of the salt lick stones you put in with your hamster. Videos by Marina Shattup, Megan Tonjes, Anita Sarkeesian have all done this same thing where they've just attacked white men, which is what they've done. Fine. Do that. People have done enough response videos to those so that I can instead focus on this one by Dylan Moran of the Seriously TV unboxing series. And I'm going to focus on that because I want to go through a few more of his unboxing videos in the future, but also his videos are a lot shorter, so it's easier to address each point in turn with his very condescending tone or presented under the pretense of trying to be funny, which he's not. I'm funnier, apparently. Anyway, let's continue. Enjoy.
Trump supporters, I love you. And I mean that.
I have a strange feeling the line between sincerity and straw-manning coupled with condescension is going to get crossed.
I'm sorry you have been led to believe that your problems have been caused by women, immigrants, Muslims, people of color, LGBTQ folks, and PC culture.
We're not far into your video and already you've made a massive generalization and an assumption that all Trump supporters, because you haven't been specific enough to say that it is some Trump supporters, all Trump supporters believe all these people are wrong and therefore Trump is the one that can fix it. Surely it's because of the media spinning lies and the politicians enabling it, acting on it, and reneging on pledges and promises.
One day soon, I trust that we will all figure out that our hatred of each other was a political device to benefit only a small few.
Yeah, I can imagine that's exactly what goes through people's minds when they vote for someone and that person doesn't win. It must be down to hatred and how it only benefits a small few. Nonsense.
Gun advocates, I love you.
Oh, I think we all know where this one's going.
And I truly hope that you never feel the devastation of losing a family member or loved one to unnecessary gun violence.
Whenever I hear people say things like that, the first thing that crops into my head is, oh look, someone is trying to make you feel guilty for having a right to own something. How dare you? You bad gun owner. Feel guilty for that. Dylan, this is terrible. Also, are you saying all gun owners voted Trump? Surely some voted Hillary.
To the men who want to outlaw abortions, I love you.
I think we both know where you're going with this one too. What I find interesting is you say to the men that want to ban abortion. There are, oddly enough, senators and congresswomen that want to ban abortion. Not only that, they want to defund Planned Parenthood. They exist, believe it or not, but please make your ridiculous, disingenuous point.
And I'm sorry that you will never experience something that you clearly feel so strongly about.
In this instance, while you're busy trying to sound sincere and sympathetic and downhearted, a 2-second Google search could have told you there are 6 states that have trigger laws that could ban abortions, and 3 other states that have laws intending to criminalize abortion. So to those men, they could in fact experience this. I thought you should know.
All lives matterers, I love you.
Not to be too much of a dickhead, but surely it would have been better if you had said, to those that support all lives matter as opposed to Black Lives Matter.
I'm sorry we don't yet live in a world where that sentiment is true.
I will concede the US have considerable influence around the world because they are one of the most powerful nations in the world. However, I don't see how electing Donald Trump president has any adverse effect on the current status of equality around the world. You are thinking globally when you should be thinking locally. Donald Trump is not going to repeal equal rights in your country. Your country does have some issues left, yes, but he is not going to take them away just for the hell of it. He's not going to take them away at all. Believe it or not, considering who he was running against, he is the better option, the more progressive option. I really don't like the word progressive.
Young people, I love you. I'm sorry you're inheriting a country you had no say in.
If the person was old enough to vote and is considered still a young person, then unless they didn't vote, they had a say. If they did not vote, then it is all on them. If they're not old enough to vote, then they do not get a say because they are not considered mentally mature enough to be able to make such an informed decision. I find it fascinating that this is somehow a valid position to take from you.
Internet trolls, I love you, and I'm sorry that you get so incensed by a video filmed in a glorified storage closet that you have to tell me to kill myself.
I don't think it's the location of the videos being filmed that bothers those internet trolls. I'm assuming I'm included in this one. I think it's more the ideas you put out and consider right.
Third-party candidates, I love you, and I'm sorry if you didn't get the attention you feel you deserved.
While a hugely condescending thing to say, and obviously you would have wanted the third-party voters to vote Hillary, that is a lot nicer than this.
People who voted third party, I get it, I get you, but you essentially did not vote third party, you voted for Trump. So if that's not the outcome you wanted, then...
Jacqueline Glenn, you make it so hard to like you. You are slipping into the same little corner of irrelevance as Dusty. And I like you both. Certainly liked what you used to put out anyway.
James Comey, I love you, but babe, I'm sorry because you are not good at your job.
That's right. It was entirely the fault of James Comey that Hillary Clinton lost the election. Not the fault of the DNC for running with the wrong candidate. Not the media for completely attacking Trump and all of his supporters. And not you regressive idiots for pushing your regressive ideas and attacking Trump and his supporters too. Yes, it was all the fault of James Comey.
Taylor Swift, I love you. And I am so glad that you are a proud feminist, and even though we really could have used your endorsement of the first woman candidate on a major party ticket, I understand that you are probably on a budget and didn't want to alienate any fans.
Firstly, she's not exactly a proud feminist. She's playing the game cleverly after being bullied into being a feminist. Do you remember when she said she wasn't, and then she had to backtrack after all the abuse she got from feminists? And while Hillary is the first woman on a major party ticket, that does not mean Taylor Swift has to vote for her. I will say though, her not talking about politics does her brand a whole world of good. So I can agree with that, minus your condescension, because I actually like money.
Donald Trump. Girl, you are making it hard. But because I believe in my heart of hearts that you are an actual human person who only ran a campaign of misogyny, hate, fear-mongering, Islamophobia, racism, insidious homophobia, and an open mocking of disabled folks and prisoners of war, only in order to win, I love you.
Firstly, he is in fact human. His hair, not so much. I'm not convinced it's from this planet. But all those accusations, all those labels, Islamophobia, misogynist, racist, prove them. Prove every single one of them. Otherwise, you have just put out a hateful video under the pretense of appearing kind-hearted.
And finally, women, immigrants, Muslims, victims of sexual harassment, people of color, LGBTQ folks, disabled people, and prisoners of war, I love you, and I'm sorry for all of this bullshit.
Not a single one of those groups that you've just mentioned is in any immediate danger under Donald Trump as president. You know this, and the only bullshit here is your video. All of it implies that these groups, all these different areas of society are in danger because of Donald Trump. You are a disgusting human being, Dylan. Thank you all for listening.